Talk about the money at the USAID. Okay, let's do it.
10,000 people, employees. And every year they give away $40 billion. Mr. Musk also found, and I'm not saying that all of this money is wasteful. I'm not. Some of this money, I'm sure, does some good. That's why Secretary Rubio is going to revamp the department and separate the good from the bad. But this is the kind of stuff Mr. Musk found. He found that the USAID gave money to support electric vehicles in Vietnam. Our money, taxpayer money. He found that USAID gave money to a transgender clinic in India. I didn't know that. I bet you the American people didn't know that. He found that the USAID gave $1.5 million to a Serbian LGBTQ group called Grupa Izladaji. I probably mispronounced that. My apologies. Anyway, they got $1.5 million to, quote, advance diversity, equity, and inclusion in Serbia's workplaces and business communities. What else did Mr. Musk found that my colleagues don't want to talk about? Well, he reviewed a study and then went and checked it. The study was done.
Now, let me clear this up for you. See what I'm saying, guys? How many people have been here since I was talking about Stephen A. Smith, the DEI? When I was disagreeing with Nina Turner about DEI, when I disagreed with Stephen A. Smith or whatever about DEI, D.L. Hughley about DEI, I kept saying DEI don't mean black.
We want the most qualified. We want the smartest. We want this. We want that. What you're really saying is we want white dominance again. That's what you're really saying. You want white dominance. Because if you're pointing to DEI, and that's usually pointed towards quote unquote unqualified minorities, because you're always using the word qualified.
I do not have the same opportunity as you. I know I don't.
And you know
and
that
I know
too.
what, Scott?
I got it. And you know that.
Let me just tell you about me.
I'm going to let you finish, but I want to answer this.
I'm not talking about how you feel. I'm talking about how I feel. Me, a black woman in this country.
But not in this city.
And I will run. And if you want
I'm a New Yorker, not in this city. You cannot say that. You can't say that in this city.
I'm not talking about New York. I'm talking about actually.
Let her finish.
Right here. I got a law degree, a master's, and 2 bachelors. Probably more education than all of y'all added up together at this table, right?
Fine by me.
And I have always been the least paid person on payroll at every institution I have worked in. And it's not
because... Even in the White House?
Even in the White House.
Well, whose fault is that? I don't think you worked for George W. or Trump.
Well, guess wasn't what happened when I was there. DEI.
Scott, look.
I mean, this is very simple. We right now have a white supremacist that is sitting in the White House. He is backed up by other white supremacists. And if you really want to know who the criminals are in this country, you can Google it. You don't have to trust me. But the people that commit.
Now, I know you probably don't like Kennedy. I used to not like him too. Yeah, I used to think this guy, but don't get me wrong, he's had funny one-liners. If you don't like the cops, fine. Next time you need a cop, don't call a cop, call a crackhead. I thought that was funny, because it was. But look what he said here.
Because you can't really defend this kind of stuff. $45 million for diversity and inclusion scholarships in Burma.
$1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces.
He said USAID Agency gave $1.5 million to a Serbian organization. It's an LGBTQ organization in Serbia. The money was for what? DEI. Folks, how many black people live in Serbia? I rest my case. Well, don't leave now. Don't leave now that I punched you in the mouth. Don't leave now when the shoe was hurting. Don't leave now. I told you DEI didn't just mean black. We got this guy saying that USAID gave money to a foreign country where there are no black people for DEI initiatives. It's an LGBTQIA organization in Serbia for DEI initiatives. Well, you think they're going to go and recruit some black people from Landover, Maryland, or some black people from Mississippi? Let's go get some black people from Alabama and bust them or fly them over to Serbia and try to infuse them into their all Serbian fucking environment? Or are they talking about something other than black? Once again, guys, see, I'm right, and I got people that disagree with me who don't know shit, who want to be vocal and not know shit, who are just doing stuff to chase the tail of the Democratic Party, who are wind-up toys for the Democrats, who don't want to acknowledge obvious and want to mislead the people I'm trying to educate. I got a problem with it. Once again, for the people that did not hear this, I say, look, I'm tired of people equating DEI with black. It doesn't mean black. Perfect example, USAID organization was giving money to Serbia, a LGBTQIA organization in Serbia, to enhance its DEI initiatives.
We will not shut up. We will stand up. We will speak up. We will rise up. It is time, as the African spiritual says, for us to lift every voice in condemnation of what's going on.
When Obama got elected, we had an opportunity. We had an opportunity where black people and white people could move to a different level. They could move forward sort of on these issues, right? That's what it was. We was right there. And in that time, what did Obama do as soon as he got elected? He confused the issue. He wanted to get more diverse. He wanted to bring in, we need to bring in all these people. We need to do the Dreamers, and we need to bring in the LGBTQIA, we need to approve gay marriage, we need to do all these other things. And like we were just on the cusp of Black America, white America, trying to get our shit together. I believe it was structured. I believe it was intentional. I do not believe in coincidences. That was the person who ushered in all that title, all those issues, all those changes. That's Obama.
This morning, the Supreme Court recognized that the Constitution guarantees marriage equality. In doing so, they've reaffirmed that all Americans are entitled to the equal protection of the law.
To flatten all these groups and wrap them all together, and to use blackness as the cover for all of it. They had to do it, or the hustle was over. The hustle would have been dead. If they didn't do that, the hustle would have been dead. The fear was that black people and white people would somehow find a way to get to some type of common ground. It was like, remember, we had paid all these dues. All this time had gone by. It was easy for the Rolling Martins to jump out and say, Blacklash. It did all this because of black people. That wasn't the only reason. It wasn't the only reason. Only a fool believes that's the only reason that their race relations tanked. It tanked because they amped up everything. The Democrats started amping everything up. It started amping up all they could. Every issue, everything, and they framed everything as race-related, right? And that gave Democrats more to run on. Because they're never going to win the white vote. Democrats never win the white vote. They don't even think they're going to win the white vote. The only vote they could win, the only way that Democrats ever get office is through black people and Latinos. So if you don't make them like victims of those people, they got nothing to run on.